Thank you very much, Jess. Congratulations, Splyce. A big win for them. It keeps the hopes of playoffs, of course, alive, very much so for them. Phil, you called it. You were right. A great call from you. And the key thing for me to note there after that series was Mad Cat getting up, getting loud. I think he's ready to play his second game of the day.
I said he was fired up coming into this day. I said,
yeah,
I didn't expect that. I didn't expect that after it. He was saying who wants it will, whether they like it or not, FaZe are going to get it. Now, whether they answer back later on, they could very well shut Mad Cat down. We'll have to see.
You're a good friend.
Thanks, Chance.
But I can't. We're roommates, man. We're very close together.
But apart from that, yeah, Splyce coming out good. Mad Cat obviously fired up. I think he'll be ready to get into FaZe.
All right, well, we'll go ahead and break down that series. Of course, all started game one, the first Hardpoint. It was ironic because it was actually the one EG came out and took, of course, the Arden Forest chance. And it was at this point I kind of looked at Phil and was like, he's wrong. He's wrong. His prediction's gone.
I was a little bit nervous as well because, like, again, I tried to switch mine, and Momo even said, he's like, you still confident about that switch? And no, I wasn't, because the ARs, I think were dominant, might not be the right word, but pretty close to it for EG. Nameless and then Aches, of course, that flex player, were going off. And I think the huge factor for this game was how many streaks they are able to get. Yeah. It seemed like they had a dozen at a certain point, and it was because of cabin control on the main street hill. It was 3 separate times where even if EG wasn't racking up a ton of score, which I think the first time around they actually did, but they're getting all the kills. They're getting streaks on the most contest-heavy hill there is, and you're doing your job in that situation. So you see Road, 75-23. It looks good, not great. But again, that is where Aches at one point was going off. Nameless was getting streaks for that. Apathy got streaks, all on the exact same hill. So if they're not going for that contest time, if they have that control, consistently forcing Splyce into those bad gunfights, you go on those massive streaks that help you win the game.
This definitely does. EG, of course, 1-0 up. We then head over to Search and Destroy London Docks, and Splyce came out to a big lead here, Phil, but EG, they almost made that comeback.
Yeah, I've got to say, Bant's very effective down low at the docks as well. He was getting aggressive. He was either trading things out or picking up a kill. I liked that from him at the start. It was working well for him. And then that's where it was 2-2. It was all tied up, and then Splyce just started to stride ahead. You started to see everything start to click for them. But I definitely was worried. I'm not going to lie. When it was 5-2, 5-3, 5-4, and there was a 1v2, I think... not a 1v2, but a 2-piece from Enable. He then drops down a little bit later, which pushes it to this round 11. But again, Tommy, he steps up in that final moment. They tried to go for that smoke kind of slow play. One thing that I think hurt EG was they played it very, very slow that last round 11. And it was kind of waiting for that final play. Tommy made it, and then it's like, oh, Tommy's made a play. We have 25 seconds. What do we do? And kind of Splyce just ran away with that. I think the slow pace from the round 11 of EG kind of hurt them a little.
Yeah, they're obviously trying to wait for Enable to get the streaks, but it just took so long. And by the time he gets them, he's not really able to utilize them as well as he would have wanted to. I actually walked past the main stage, and I walked past the EG guys after that, and way into the commercial break, and just as the next game was starting up, they were still talking about it, so you can tell how much impact that actually had. But then, of course, we go to the CTF chance, and Splyce, they retake control of the series.
And overall, Splyce, I think, just played the map better. I think EG, they had a huge opportunity once those streaks come on board, and they used them to somewhat effect, but at a certain point, Splyce just kind of took over. They made the clutch plays, and anytime you go into an elongated stalemate situation, a lot of the times the team that comes out on top just kind of wins the game. And it was a 3-1 victory, which doesn't seem like a huge margin because it isn't. The game was actually a lot closer than that. It really could have been either team's game. Again, those Splyce, they just come up clutch, and that's dealing with those early streaks that EG was able to get.
Well, at that point, of course, Splyce 2-1 up in the series. We head over to Game 4, Hardpoint. And this, again, towards the end, it was a moment where you're like, okay, what's about to happen here? But Splyce, I mean, they close this one out in style.
This was awesome to watch. We were both watching it backstage, Ben. I think towards the end of the CTF, I do want to touch on Jerd really seemed to be in his comfort zone. Yeah. And I think Jerd was making a lot of smart plays. He's kind of kill to death, don't reflect it at this given point what you're watching right now. Tommy goes on a 7-kill streak in and around Beer, gives himself streaks, helps out his team. I think Bance or Mad Cat was on a 3. And they take it to this final docks, and the pinch was perfect because I was very, very worried. As this kind of breaks down, you can see when we rotated from the street down to the docks, EG picked up a couple of kills, and there was a couple of, I think you said, Mad Cat made a bit of a mistake at statue, but Bance went right round the back. Yeah, Tommy pushed with him at Beer, and it was those moments where they're coming on in, 2 plays from either side. if they die there, they probably lose the game. But they pick up a kill either side, and it's like, okay, 4v2, let's just go in. It was only going to end one way there. I was kind of surprised how it broke down. I was surprised how close that hardpoint was, actually. But apart from that, 3-1 series for Splyce, they'll be happy with that one.
They most definitely will. As Phil said, though, they're going to go up against FaZe Clan a little bit